Since many people have said pretty negative things about the introduction of random triggers to Geometry Dash, here are some great things about the feature with some interesting potential for 2.2. Randomly generated gameplay. Let's say you want to build a section of layout and you know which game modes to use and what style of gameplay the section will be. Well, why not make dozens of different versions of the part that each have the same feel to them but different inputs? Hard gameplay these days doesn't seem to test one's skill in the distinct game modes, but rather one's ability to commit click patterns to their muscle memory. By using the random trigger though, we can force players to employ their experience with the vehicle and react to gameplay in real time, every time, and use their knowledge of the game's physics to gauge the correct way to proceed. This would create a test of mechanical and sight reading skill rather than an extended practice mode session. A distinctive challenge that is much more fun to play. Random triggers also unlock a lot of possibilities for mini-game creators, as they make adding randomness far less complicated than it's previously been. Imagine if all of GD's unique puzzles and game recreations were all randomized to have a different solution every time. That would certainly give them a ton of replay value. You know what else the random trigger would solve? Boss fights. Almost every single one of them falls flat because the bosses don't seem sentient or able to adapt to what their opponent does. There's no interaction. They use the exact same moves every time and are defeated every time using the exact same inputs at the exact same moments. It becomes yet another issue of memorization when it should be a struggle. And while most of the problem comes from bad design, for example, creators could make their bosses' attacks more sight-readable, or program them to adopt different strategies based on what the player does, improvement will come with access to the random trigger. After all, wouldn't a boss fight feel more like a fight if the boss kept you on your toes with randomized attacks? Maybe, or maybe not. These are all good ideas for the random trigger, but whether they lead to good or bad creations depends on how well the concepts are executed. If creators decide to build their levels with these possibilities in mind, but their gameplay is impossible to sight read, or the obstacles they throw at the player require too quick of a reaction time, the levels will suck, and their randomness will be hated for making the levels luck-based or impossible to master. The risk of creating bad levels while learning how to use new features is explored in this video. How bad will levels get after 2.2 releases? What do you plan to make with the random trigger once the update comes out? Let us know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.